Hi there, this is your friend Anna, and the question that I've been getting the most from all of my friends is what are we wearing? This age old question isn't just about choosing an outfit, it's about choosing how we present ourselves to the world. I created the I Want Her Shoes podcast to dive deep into what it means to dress with intention, whether you're heading to a council meeting or just having a casual day out with your family. Join the conversation as we explore the power of personal style and the decisions that shape our public personas. Put on your favorite pair of shoes and step into my closet. Really excited about this episode of the I Want Her Shoes podcast. It's called The Art of Beauty Transforming Spaces and Faces, and it's about Fatima Rosa's journey from global roots to local impact. It's so nice to have you here with us, Fatima.
Thank you.
And today we're going to be exploring, really your inspiring journey, and because you're a very visionary entrepreneur who has seamlessly blended rich media multicultural background with a passion of beauty and community service, because you do so much of that. Like, that's amazing that you do that. I applaud you. I wish I did more. And from your early days in Canada, influenced by your family's resilience and entrepreneurial spirit, which I'm really excited to learn more about, to pioneering the first blow dry in Florida and beyond. You have been setting trends and empowering women throughout innovating beauty services, which is awesome. And today I'm really excited to talk to you about, navigating challenges and including really cultural transitions, business hurdles that we talk about a lot, kind of, offline, and also really creating a thriving beauty hub in our, in our backyard, which is really exciting. And congratulations on the two locations, and also, it sounds like 3 in Pinecrest as well. 4.
Fourth one coming downtown. Maybe another 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, well, that's really exciting. A lot to celebrate, and thank you so much for being with us.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me. This is exciting, and I don't know if the space could be any better than this.
Can you share a little bit about your family's history? Because I don't actually know a lot, at all anything about it, and the entrepreneurial background in Canada that really shaped your approach to business now. I'm really excited to learn about this.
Well, it's kind of a wild story, but essentially, so I'm born in Canada, born and raised, but my parents are born in East Africa. So for anyone who doesn't know, the country of Uganda, very tiny country in East Africa. My parents were both born there, didn't know each other, didn't meet there, but they were growing up there with their large families, and then suddenly in like early 70s, there was a military coup. Idi Amin declared himself the president and essentially threw out anyone that pretty much had supposedly 30 days to leave. But there was a pretty quick exit if you didn't have, if you had like a South Asian background or essentially anything sort of non-African background. So they were forced to leave, like drop out of school, leave your family homes, any assets essentially were frozen. So it's get where they'll take you. So this is when the Commonwealth countries decided to plug themselves back in and take people in. So my mom ended up in London for 10 years, my dad in New Zealand.
Wow.
Then he moved to Canada. My mom visited her sister, met there, and then ended up moving. So they had their own whole wild, like, moving around, not really finishing school, and then figuring things out. So my mom was an accountant in London. My dad went to like a farmer's school, like agricultural college.
They have that? That's cool.
So he ended up never really using that. Well, I say never, now it's funny because now fast forward to his entrepreneurial journey and figuring out his niche, he's in the food industry. So restaurants, kind of like fast casual circle, right? And everything. Yeah, so it's like he really understands the food industry so well, and I make fun of him, like, it's just like his farmer at his best. But we grew up with them basically working long hours, not so much of being around, but when we took family vacations, my dad would really make it like, okay, we're flying to Spain for a couple of weeks, or we're going to do this and extend your spring break. So I had I had these role models, and as much as, you know, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, they're not around, and my parents don't come for school things, and da da da. But I will say, watching them build what they have now, watching them build for our family, for us to be able to go to school or do things freely or go on vacations and really like have that, and knowing that they started with nothing because they had to leave everything they had behind. It's just, you know, I think about that a lot, especially as I'm older now with my own kid, and I think like, how
inspiring.
Could I do that? Like, you know,
you are doing well. You are doing it, you know, because I feel like, again, for women, it's not that easy to start businesses and get ahead no matter what. So I feel like you're building your own empire. So, which
but I
is
feel
amazing.
like different times we have access to different things. We know more, whereas, you know, they moved to a new country. Thank God they had a British background in terms of schooling and that, so it wasn't like a language barrier. But I still think about like just culture shock, everything.
Yeah, everything works differently. Right? So
that's pretty much like how I grew up. And then, you know, as a 5-6-year-old, I'd be spending time sitting in the back of one of their businesses, and just, I mean, my dad would come around. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm reading like little books, eating candy. He's like, "No, we're gonna learn how to work today." And I'll never forget that first day. He's like, "You can help your mom." And he tells me to do something on the computer, and I'm like, "Oh, I can't even reach it." So he pulls up a milk crate, and he's like, "Here, now you can, problem solved."
Wow.
Now what? Okay, so small tasks, but I felt so accomplished. You know,
that's
like,
awesome.
I went and worked this weekend with my mom, and she like paid me a couple dollars, and it just felt so good. And I feel like that really started the drive, and I was like a part of their business. I'm part of the family's, you know, the value, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Course.
From your family, what key lessons from your corporate experience at Manulife and John Hancock have you applied in building your own businesses? Maybe you could talk about how, you know, about your journey, how you got into like entrepreneurship, because it sounds like you didn't start there. Even though your parents had the business and you helped, you still probably went the traditional way first.
I was forced to go the traditional way. I graduated.
Mom, I know,
Yeah,
like, what?
I'm ready. I graduated university, and they're like, "Okay, now what?" And I'm like, well, I thought you were just going to hand me a job. You know, what do you mean now what? I'm going to work with you. My dad said, "You know what? Like, as much as I love that, I think the best thing for you to do is go work somewhere big, somewhere corporate." And he's like, "Learn what that's like. Learn what it is to be maybe a number. Learn how it is to be a part of like a huge place, and then figure it out from there." It wasn't bad advice, you know. When I think back of those days, like working in John Hancock and Manulife's the parent company in Canada, I think that I think of two major things: managers and team. So I had a few great managers there. I think about them still, and just their different styles. And one of them was a little harsh. He would be a little blunt, and just really shaped some of the things. Like I would see even the interaction with other people. Like if you show up at a meeting without a pen and paper, just pen and paper,
they want to
throw you out.
Oh my gosh,
Throw you out.
hey,
But you know, he's like, people would say, "I'm taking notes on my phone." Oh no, that's a distraction. He's like, "We're here to like, focus, listen. I know where that goes." And he just, oh, you cute. You came here without a pen and paper, and he would tell you to leave, so you just missed the whole meeting. And
there was no like AI taking notes for you and like sending
not then. No, it was a little further behind, but just even that, if you wrote nothing, he wanted you to be prepared. And I think that was the bigger takeaway. Every moment of showing up with him for your one-on-one or your evaluations or anything, are you prepared? And that was his big focus for everyone. Be prepared before you talk to a client, before you do anything. And I think that while some may not have loved his style, I loved it. It
like discipline, kind of maybe like your parents had a little bit, right? So.
Yeah, and he was very much like, you know, I'll do everything for you as your manager, but these are my requirements. And I thought that was great. And I had another one who was definitely more lax, but personable, fun, and she really made it a point to know you on top of like, you know, your role in the company. And I loved her style too, because I respected her as my boss, but I also felt like I could open up a little bit or just share like, here's my plan and my goals and the next thing I want to do and within. and she's like, I'm here for it, So I love that. And team is the other big thing, because if you are behind, if you're sick, if you're anything, you have to rely on that team, because they are your support system. They know your clients, they know your block of business, and they're the ones who can really have your back. So you really want to do your all for them, because you're going to get it back when you need it. And I think that showed me a lot about how to function within that team environment. And also, the players, who to pick and choose, who's going to like really support, and skill sets. That person I rely on to handle my clients. That person may be more of my admin. That person, And now I do it, I think, every day with my staff. I think trying to teach them the same thing about being prepared, being ready for your next client, but also having that mentality of your team. You're as good as your team. So support each other, train up each other. If you figure out a tip, share it, Yeah. And I think they do a good job. I mean, we'll get little warning notes like, hey, this client is a little picky about this, and here's the adjustment I made last time. And I love it. I see those things in the system, and I think it's great. I'm like, thank you guys for having each other's back.
Yeah. No, I feel like trust is the most important, because when you have trust in any team, like sports or business or family, like I feel like you just are more successful together, right? So
well, it's like the village mentality too, a little bit, right? It's like you can, I forget the quote exactly, but if you want to go far versus if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Yeah. So speaking about trust and team, and you've built this empire here locally, can you walk us through the evolution of your business from Blow Dry Bar to the comprehensive like face, brow, and beauty bar?
Sure. I started with Blow, which was a franchise from Canada, and funny enough, I didn't know at the time that I was doing this that we were the first blow dry concept in Florida.
Oh wow!
So they didn't know how to.
They didn't even have that one that was, what is it called? The really popular one.
The dry bar. So it's
the dry bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
They had no idea. So, we're trying to classify it, and the business regulators are like, "What do you mean you don't cut and color, and you don't need, the haircut bins or the ventilation for color?" And they couldn't understand that this was the concept of the business, to just wash, blow, and style. And so that was an interesting process of just almost educating them and showing them the concepts from Toronto, New York, and here's what they do. And then, I think just being in Brickell, being the first, was a hit right away. People were emailing like, please put me on your wait list as soon as you open.
That's
it
so
was
cool.
Very cute. I still remember the first person who ever emailed me to say, let me know when you open. I want to be like the first one in the door. And so from there, I had that about 8 years. And in that time frame, people would just start to ask, like, I wish you did makeup. I wish you did this. So we hired a makeup artist, and I'd have her also do like the weddings with us. Mm-hmm. And I wish, you could tell me where you did your brows, or could you just do mine? When they're like, oh, you do your own brows. And what else? People would just say it would be nice to have like more than one thing. And then with a franchise, you're limited. So
right.
I wasn't able to do much more. And a few years in, the space next door opened up. And that's when I decided, I'm just going to go for it. The people left. I put in like a first dibs, and they like, okay, send us your concept. I'm like, nobody does brow threading here in Miami. They barely know what it is. So we started with brows, facial, skincare, and then started adding on as services got more popular: lamination, lash lift, and pretty much everything for your face, everything from the neck up. And it was such a nice compliment to basically have them next door: hair and makeup, brows and blow dry, all at once. And I felt like this would be great to have everything under one roof. We almost felt that way. And then I think that the business was doing well. So, we've recently expanded a couple more locations, so shops in Midtown.
Yay, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited. We have downtown. It might be our flagship because it's really big and beautiful, and
I'm excited to see it. Is it right, like close to where the new mall is, like the Apple Store and all of that? Yeah, that's where
across from the World Center.
Yeah, that's where Vetch opening the Maple and Ash.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
it's like walking distance from there, pretty much.
Well, I'll be coming there for sure.
It's gonna be gorgeous, and it's right next to the Bright Line. So now we have like all the new routes from Orlando. So I expect some like tourist vibes there as well, with the new hotels coming up. And generally, I sold Blow in 2018, and of course had some period of non-compete and all that. So now that that's done and long gone, I bought blow dries back to my original location. So we have literally everything under one roof, and we actually started expanding into head spa.
Oh, cool.
So we're really excited about that, because that's while it's a new trending thing, it's also a really big part of self-care that has changed the way we do those types of things, and really focusing on scalp health, but like that mental health, because the massage of the scalp and the way you can do things to enhance just the skin and the hair, but also your actual well-being is really like this. The studies are amazing, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I've never actually had any of that kind of stuff done, so I was like,
Okay,
be your client to try it for sure. Yes, I would love to try it. And I know that we've talked about philanthropy, and you're involved in, you know, some local organizations like Best Buddies and United Way. How has that influenced both your personal life and like the way you run your business? Because I'm sure, you know, it has.
Definitely. I think, well, personally, I think we grew up with this this need to give back. I think my parents really have this link to where they came from and who helped them when they were in a place of being disadvantaged. So they really instilled that in us from the beginning of, well, we help others when they're in need. We don't judge. You know, sometimes you see people in the street corner and it's okay, well, he just wants drug money, or he just, you know, it's okay, because just be so grateful that it's not you, right? And I really like when my dad, he would keep like money in the car just for those situations, and I just think he's like, but every time I see that, I just like say a little prayer and it's not me. And I think with that, like altruism is sort of a core tenet of our faith, and you know, part of it is there is a component, regardless of what anyone says how selfless it is, but there is a feel good component. So it's whatever you're giving to someone else, you get something back. And I know that there's like, my cup is full when I have spent a day volunteering or have done something that has like moved the needle forward for somebody's life or family's life or organization. And even like you're doing networking type events in United Way, we run the small business committee. Those things still go for a cause. So you're still finding ways to bring people in involved. And that's the kind of crossover for business life, where I've recently become chair of our small business committee.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. So we're, you know, we've come up with events to bring business owners local that are like-minded. They want to come together with philanthropy, but they also, you know, benefit from us supporting each other. So we volunteer together, we can bring our staff and we can show them what we're involved in, and that feel-good component. Volunteering with my staff has been really something special. One particular, we gave back to the Camillus House Mother's Day. We had a little spa pampering day set up in a room.
That's so cool.
They bussed them in from the other campus, and you know, at the end of the day, we sat down and they said, like, when can we do it again? You know, it was so nice. Like, they didn't get paid for it. You know, this was something truly that they saw. People who probably never had their faces touched in their lives like that before had seen themselves with fresh brows, and I just for me, like, such a proud moment, right, to see them.
Yeah, no, that's very special. And is that something like a requirement for your team to do philanthropy, or is that something that you just give them an option to do?
Yeah, I'll ask, hey, I want to do this for whatever day, Mother's Day. We've done, you know, Lotus House. We got them ready for business interviews by giving them a little bit of glam and tips on how to get dressed and do their makeup. And I've never had a shortage of volunteers, I think, which is so nice.
Yeah.
You know,
that means you have good people working for you.
I do.
Just cheers to that again. Yes. Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you faced when setting up your business and how you overcame them. You know, maybe there could be personal challenges or just any kind of business challenges, because I know personally that Miami is kind of notorious for being a little bit tough on small businesses, I feel like. I mean, let's face it.
I think, small businesses have to do so much. Yeah. Just, you know, in the brick and mortar space where I'm at, it's difficult because you build out to a certain way. There's so many zoning requirements and other things like architecturally that you have to make sure you're following code for. And then it may not work with the way you envision something, and now you keep making changes and everything costs something. So you go through that, but one thing I really learned with brick and mortar is the permit process and who you trust, and really researching your GCs to your architects, and it's still an ongoing lesson. You can get some of the best referrals and then it just doesn't click, and it's really hard to figure out how to get around those things because people don't feel accountable to you, and you have to understand like there's a way to sort of bring everyone together, and then same thing, bring them back to your team. I've had a few hard lessons along the way with all of those. I think I work with good people now in terms of 4 build-outs or 5 build-outs later, but that was a struggle for me in the beginning. I had a permit runner who took off with my plans and the money. I didn't know what to do, how to find them. I found like a sympathizer inside the city of Miami, and he's like, listen, they come here at this time, do this.
Wow.
And he
so they
helped
found
me.
them.
Yeah,
Well,
he helped me
that's good. That's a good
them.
person. You found a good person.
I did.
there,
I
you
was
know?
very lucky at that time. And I think that, sometimes your network too, as you get into those spaces, now the people I know or who can call on for advice or support or better referrals is different now than when I first moved here. I didn't know anyone. So it's like, yeah, that's a good contractor. That's a great this. Okay.
Yeah,
Great,
great. I mean, yeah, well, now it sounds like you built like a network and where people can get those resources too, right? So
Yes.
like you can refer people to each other.
Yeah, who not to refer, who to refer. Happy to dole those out.
Yeah, no, I think that's very useful for anybody local. We'll definitely share those links
Mm-hmm.
in the podcast for sure. And I know that you guys focus on a lot of natural and organic products. And how do you ensure that you guys align with sustainability? And I know that's like a big deal now, but I think that's also great because it's nice to have sustainability in your business, right?
I think it's twofold. Again, like the volunteering, right? There's a feel-good component for the person buying something that they know is either giving back to the environment or to a group of people. And, that purchase makes you feel good with your, even if it's just your footprint at first. But then the other side is clean products. I think that people are now really gravitating towards less chemicals, less synthetics, really paying attention to, we may not believe it in Miami, but they are paying attention to what they're putting on their face, and even down to sunscreens. Yes, we know it's good for you, or we think that it helps you prevent certain things, but now what's in my sunscreen? What's in my cleanser? What's in everything? And, we do a lot of clean organic beauty. I think that it's a hit because people want to know the ingredients they're putting on, so you can read them and kind of know what they are, as opposed to
versus like what is this like X whatever this chloride thing is or whatever, So no, I think
a couple
that's
gums, a couple this. Who knows?
No, and aside from that, what makes you guys stand out from the competition? Because I know since you opened, there's definitely been a lot of other similar companies that come to Miami, and Miami has grown a lot in 15 years, let's face it. So obviously you guys have amazing customer service and nice people, but how do you really stay competitive in the market like this?
I love that question because for me, it feels so simple. Yes, great service, and yes, we are priced well and competitive. We're great at what we do. Like my staff, their skills, like I'm always just in awe and so proud of them, of how even when they started to where they are now and how far they've come. But I think the biggest thing is just not being so pretentious. Miami has grown, but it's also invited this air of whether it's pretentiousness or you have to dress a certain way before you can go to your haircut appointment, if you're walking into an IGK and who's going to sit next to you. And I think that has a big part of Miami, written all over it, where if you come in and you're sweaty from yoga, you just rolled out of bed because you worked late last night, there's no judgment. I think that we say it, but we actually really
mean it.
Practice it. We're there to make you feel good, and we are focused on enhancing your natural beauty. We don't do, medical services, injections, and things like that. But with what you've got, we're gonna make you feel good, feel confident, and really just whoever you want to be and whoever you want to be. If it's your Monday versus your Friday personality, we'll take it all, because I think people can really have a conversation with us, can share something like you would expect at a typical beauty salon, but we're really the neighborhood spot.
Yeah, I love that. And that makes you like the friendly friendly neighborhood
Yeah.
spot.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
Well, we get people walking by the windows, and if they see you, you can see them like trying to get our attention, like, hi,
Hey, well,
like,
that's
just
good,
want to
though.
say hello, and it's somebody, or stick their head in, like, hey girls, what's up, and then leave. And that's one of those, like, you just took that second out of your day, and you love us as much as we love you.
Yeah, no, I think
so
that's
nice.
super important, and that's what makes you stand out. And definitely go check out one of their locations. We're gonna share, obviously, in the links and everything.
Yes.
But it's definitely really nice and like family. Like I feel like very family like vibes. Like warm vibes. And
Yes.
not very, as you said, not something you expect in Miami these days, right?
Yeah.
So, well, now let's talk a little bit about beauty and fashion. What are some of the trends that you're seeing with the two right now?
So, with beauty and fashion, I think that people, seasonally too, we've had our bold moments, but I feel like people are going back to neutral in terms of what's the smaller enhancements. So I don't want to do crazy like thick microblading and obviously fake brows, but I want to do maybe a lamination and just enhance what I've got and a little fluffier. Like more subtle lash lift. Hands down, we actually stopped doing lash extensions because lash lift has become so popular and people don't want the maintenance or don't have the time for it. I mean, I love how they look, but I can't lay in a bed for 2 hours anymore.
Well, now, I mean, the whole, like, no eyelashes trend is on right now. Like, I saw that. I mean, like, no, like, nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I need some color on the eyelash at least,
Yes.
right? Like, but yes, that's an interesting trend. And I think, yeah, it goes back to, like, sustainability, organic stuff and everything. And I think also there's a lot of personalization, too. I feel like people want, like, I saw that people want like personalized makeup even, right? Like they want their own makeup made like for them, and I feel like that's something that you could probably do too, right? Because that's like you could just come and make your palette. I've seen that, like that's been doing some research about the trends, and it seems like even for seasons, people want to match that with like their clothes, and I mean
a little bit of mood.
No, I know. I mean, who has time? I mean, for me to like think about that intensity of matching your makeup and stuff, like I don't have time, but it sounds like there are people that have that, and that's really, I think that's a cool trend.
Yeah, I feel like you'll see like some of these little and I think it's subtle too, but for example, what we've been seeing and doing a lot is under the eyes a little bit of blue or green, like a pop of color where it's not so bright, but it's also like, oh, a little something, that's just like personalized to you, but doesn't have to necessarily be this like obvious or screaming trend. And you know what else, now that this comes to mind, people have really moved away from heavy makeup and started going into BB creams and a 3-in-1 where it's like growth factors, color, and SPF all in one. And it's they make great formulas now. They're super buildable coverage if you need. They're just long lasting and they have a higher SPF, so people feel confident wearing that like for their full morning at least. And I think that's like the other thing that we noticed. We don't sell as much foundation, but BB creams all the way.
Yeah, no, I feel like, let's face it, we live in Miami and the foundation kind of just
Sweats off.
No, because you literally have it all over, like you literally sweat it off and it's all over your clothes, and like you kiss people, it's all over their like shirts,
Yes.
So I feel like it's actually not, like if you live in climates like this, it's probably better not to wear foundation. It's better to wear BB creams or not wear a lot of sunscreen.
And I think the multitasking is the other part. Is like, why not have a 3-in-1 as opposed to one thing for SPF and then one thing for your coverage, another thing to set. I just feel like it's all one time, and then it's time.
Yeah,
really
no, exactly.
For time.
Yeah, and what do you wear? You always look so flawless with your
a BB cream. So
which one is your favorite? Is something that you guys have exclusively?
Yes,
or?
We have not so exclusively, but I think in the Miami area we carry this brand Amarte. It's like a Korean line.
Oh, cool.
And they have medical grade products, so when you need the retinols and things like that. But a lot of clean ingredients as well. But their BB cream is everything. It's buildable, so you can wear it. You can beauty blender it up with like a foundation, and then SPF, skincare, growth factors. It's got pretty much everything in there. I mean, is it like as detailed? No. But if you're gonna run in and out and not need to worry about 5 things, and you take it in your bag and go.
Yeah,
It's easy.
I love stuff like that. You
Me
know,
too.
take it in your bag and go.
Cut 10-20 minutes out of the morning routine, 100%.
Exactly. And well, let's talk a little bit about shoes now, because I asked you to bring your favorite shoes, and you picked two different pairs. So why don't we tell me a little bit about each one and why they're so special to you?
Okay,
So let's
so
bring them a little bit closer.
yes, let's talk about these beat up.
They're not beat up. They're beautiful. I mean, there's like, where are they? I don't even. I mean, where? Like,
Missing a little guy here, a little topper here. I mean, the heels is
Yeah,
you get caught in
you could
cracks.
probably.
I did the right thing though. I put like
You
the
put
little
this,
heels on.
yeah. So yeah, ladies, you
This-
always have to put this on
You'll
here,
ruin
'cause
the actual
otherwise you
bottom.
will literally like scrape the bottom.
Scrape the bottom, but you'll also die. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like you go
You
across
will
one
slip.
tile. There's no grip on these things. I learned that. I'm like, oh, taking them back tomorrow for our little fix up. And it's a funny story about these. So a friend of my friend, this cool girl. She used to work for Louboutin, and
Cool.
she invited us like, hey, casually, if you're in the area, New York City. If you feel like it, we do this warehouse type of sale, if you find your size, if this, but they're like a great deal. And so we flew out to New York. I'm like, let's make a weekend out of it.
Let's do this.
My
I
girlfriend's
love
like,
that.
well, work is throwing like a party at their New York office. So someone gave me their badge. I shouldn't say the company name, but I went to their work party and was one of them. And then the next morning we got up, I want to say at like 3
A.M.
3 a.m. 3:30, something like that. It was some ridiculous hour where we barely slept, and it was freezing cold. This was also winter in New York.
Whoa.
And we had this little hotel next to the
So it was
the Louboutin
convenient.
place.
At least you could just like
walk out.
Yeah.
And it got so cold. We sat in these little chairs and we were just like shivering, and the little scarves, whatever we brought. So one of us goes back, brings a blanket from the hotel. One of us goes back to warm up. We just did shifts, and you meet all these TaskRabbit people in line. So at the end, it was worth it. I found 5 pairs in my size.
And these were
These ones are the ones I wear the most. Like, you know what it is? Like, they're sexy and they're a little badass. I feel like with the door stopper, like they scream like, be a little scared of me. Just like, watch if you're coming too close. Like, that's the vibe. I feel like very badass when I wear them. So
I like that vibe. No, that's a great story. I've actually
things
never
do?
sat. Yeah, I mean, things women do. 3 a.m.
shoes.
But I mean, come on, I would have done it if I knew about it. I would have been like there. I stood in line for the Jimmy Choo H&M collaboration like 15. It was like 15 years ago. Yes, and I still have some pieces from there.
I do too. Oh my god.
So like you keep that stuff forever. Like, and
I think the struggle is the better reason, right? Like, I don't want to let go of them because I like really
it was
worked
so
for them.
like, no, because like that's not a joke. It was like, we're not gonna do that now, probably.
No, I won't do that now. There's no chance. But I'm happy I did it then.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I totally remember the Jimmy Choo collection. I got the jacket. I got like a dress. I had so many.
Yeah, I have the dress still. I got the necklace. Like the big necklace.
big
I still
one.
have it. It's actually like really good quality. It's like hasn't rusted, because here a lot of stuff rusts if it's bad.
I
No,
know.
it's actually good. And I had like the sparkly jacket that I got. I still
Yeah, the
have.
sequency one.
Yes.
that
Oh my
was
god,
it.
I
don't
have
have
it.
it anymore.
It's not here. It's in the other room. I still have it.
Oh my god, I feel like we bought the same pieces.
We did. Yeah.
I have the leather one shoulder dress, that, and then the leather jacket, and I was like the happiest person. Like, this was so worth it.
Yes,
like,
you just try to get what you could, because back then, like, people were aggressively like,
no change
like
rooms,
grabbing
nothing.
things, nothing. Like, you're like, get what you can, whatever size you can, and that's
Yes.
it. And now I just shopped for the Kate Moss collaboration with Zara, and I went online and bought stuff, and like that's it. There was no
So
struggle.
much easier, right? But they didn't have that. It wasn't so
No.
easy to shop online. So I'm definitely grateful for it showing up at my door, easy returns.
Yeah.
But the story we had around the whole weekend, just revolving around buying shoes, was so fun, and it's one of those I won't trade it for anything. So
Exactly.
now I will trade it for time, but
All
these
right,
are
well,
my fun. And
Let's put the other beauties here.
So these are my, not so high heel, not difficult to wear. They're so comfortable. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Rockstead, I think. And, they go up the ankle. So I'm just like, okay, we've got enough. I think, again, see, I'm
You like a little edge. Look at this,
edge.
a little
Yeah,
edge
see?
right here.
Now
You
I see
like
the
it.
pattern in myself. I was like, oh, that's why I like them. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's totally you, a little
It's a
rock
little-
star.
a
A
little
little rock star.
badass
Yeah, a little
and-
badass.
Put my little twist on it, but you can be badass and be super comfortable. And if you have to run after a kid, if she comes with you, then you can do it in these. Those
Yeah.
no.
I have the same version of them right there, the little
Yes,
pink ones.
yeah.
Those are, I mean, I feel like these are like must have. And if you guys are not actually watching the video, these are, what are they called? These are like the little heel Valentino.
Like, yeah, they're, I mean, part of the rock set, I'm not
Yeah.
good with names, but they're like the mid.
Yeah,
mid
the
heel.
mid heel, and they're like the thicker heel. So they're the one, and they have like the one she has that have the strap that goes around the ankle. The one I have, they don't have the strap; you just slip in. And the other ones are Louboutins, and they're very high heeled, and they have like a little rocks. Like, what would you say is like a piercing kind of a thing in the front?
Yeah, I think the name of the shoe is the door knocker.
The door knocker. Okay,
Yeah.
so go look that one up. It's hot. I'm sure that's probably available on Real somewhere. But
Somewhere,
I
yeah.
think, yeah, it's awesome. So sounds like these are just kind of more like everyday shoes, and those are like the,
Yeah,
but
this
these
is
are
like
also
the
edgy.
easy
though.
feminine with exactly a little edge. But yeah, I definitely think now that I'm saying it, I'm like, that is me.
Yes, I love that.
That's me.
All right. Well, to end the conversation, I'm gonna ask you quick little questions, and you pick one from each. All right. So, matte or glossy makeup?
Matte.
Agreed. Bold lip or smoky eye?
Smoky eye.
I would do a bold lip. Yes. Natural ingredients or high tech formulas?
Ooh, can we have both?
I'm with both. Yeah, I think we can.
I
'Cause
think we
need
can.
both,
Nowadays,
I
we
feel
can
like.
have both. Well, in two different products because we really know how to layer now, and also they're coming together.
Yeah, agreed. DIY mask or store bought facial?
Store-bought facial. Mm-hmm.
Or go to your spa?
Well, I say store-bought, but I try to make myself an appointment.
Yep, for sure. Eco-friendly packaging or luxurious design?
You can have both. You can have recycled packaging that still looks
That looks
high-end.
like high-end, and I feel like it's kind of the trend too that stuff looks high-end.
You know what I like? No packaging. If I see a beautiful bottle, like I'm thinking just off the shelf of these body oils we have, and I just see the shape of the bottle, the curve, the like color of the product, I don't know. I don't want the
We
box.
don't need packaging.
We don't.
So, lipstick or lip gloss?
Gloss.
A mascara or false lashes? I already know the answer, but it's...
Oh, I think if I had the patience every day, false lashes.
Yeah, I mean, I get extensions too, but I take I just let them fall off, and then I go back and do it again. So I give it like a month,
Like
a month or 6 weeks between. So, well, let's see, BB cream or full coverage foundation. We already talked about
You
that.
can have both, but
Yeah.
yes, BB cream for my starter.
Contouring or highlighting?
Contouring.
Natural look or glam look?
Mostly natural, like a touch of glam.
Yeah, I think you can have like something in between,
Something
right?
in
I
between.
feel like you're kind of in between with
Yeah.
a little edge, which is awesome. Yeah. Pressed powder or loose powder?
Pressed.
Nail polish or gel?
Gel.
Agreed. Eyebrow pencil or eyebrow gel?
Pencil.
Yep, I agree. Cleansing balm or micellar micellar water?
Cleansing balm.
What is micellar water?
Water. It's like a cleansing water. Think of it as like kind of, it's not quite a toner. It's not toning, but it's like a cleaning water. It's just very gentle, but I like a balm because I like to go in, so
Yeah.
I don't want gentle.
All right. Sheet mask or clay mask?
Ooh, clay mask.
Yeah.
Want to be
What's a
worth it.
sheet mask?
Those little ghost looking ones.
Oh, those things? Okay. All right. Yeah, like I feel like I like the clay too, because I mean, I don't know. I feel like weird with the ghost thing. I don't know.
I mean, 'cause here's my thing. It's like about the multitasking again and like wasting
it's
time.
going to fall on your
Yeah, I can't like drink a coffee and then have it. Yeah, exactly. Fall on my laptop, fall into anywhere. It's not comfortable. Whereas like once that clay starts sticking to your face, you can do rounds of laundry or work.
Scare
and
your
nobody-
kids a little bit.
Has happened. Mommy, what's happening? But Always worth it. Scare your husband, you know. Doubles as Halloween when you're really just cleaning your face. So here we go.
Yeah, and just a quick question. I know we didn't talk a lot about family, but I wanted to ask my guests if you dress your husband at all.
No.
Or he dresses himself.
He mostly dresses himself. I mean, once in a while he'll need an opinion, but I think like he has his, you know, he knows what looks good on him.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's simple.
Yeah, my husband hasn't bought his own thing for like years. I know.
Lucky him. Wow.
Makes his life easier, but yeah. Right. And your daughter?
Oh, that's a community effort. You can definitely tell who dressed her that morning. You know, like based on how she goes to school, how the hair, like the ponytail. It's very cute though. I love like the combinations he puts together. They have fun with it. Yeah. Which is like pick your own, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean I think like being a girl, that's probably fun.
Yeah, he's like into braids now because he learned how to do them. So he's getting into it. He's good. He's good. They're much faster than if the two of us got ready together. So
hey, well they're probably not having as much fun though.
No, because it involves a dance party.
Yes. All right, well for the last little segment, I'm gonna ask you to pick a pair of shoes out of my collection that if you had to pick one pair, like they just told you like you have to pick one pair you could take.
You know, if you say that and you tempt me, I might just take them. What size are you? Okay. Really? Like, okay, these are the first sneakers that caught my eye.
I could see you wearing those for sure.
I mean, I thought I'd be like into the white. I'm gonna bring a second pair because I'm obsessed with these. So the Zanottis, but the Dolce & Gabbana. I mean, this screams like Italian summer, right?
Yeah, well that's what it's supposed to scream. Like, exactly, yeah. And I feel like you just feel better like when you look down on your shoes, you're like,
yeah, I'm not there now, but sort of.
Yeah, well when you said it's like a mix, you like sneakers, I feel like that's, yeah, look at the bottom.
Look at the bottom. I love that.
Yeah, they do a good job. I don't wear, I mean, I think I've only worn those like once or twice because I'm scared. I mean, I feel like I'm a lot of the time scared to wear my really nice shoes, like, because I really like wait for them to go on discount. I don't usually buy full price shoes, ladies. Like, I mean, I know some of you do, and I have before, like, for like some of them, if it's a collaboration or something, I will, but like I usually wait, so it's very special for me. So then I won't wear them, and then I'll just, then you end up with a collection of them, and then, you know, no, I mean, now I'm more picky. I'm like, now I have to like wear it, so I'm wearing everything and mixing everything.
Wear these, please.
No, I'm gonna wear them.
I love them.
And what size are you?
Ooh, after birth, after pregnancy, is definitely a 10.
Okay. And what were you before pregnancy? Did
like
it change for you? For me, it went from like, I was between 7.5 and 8, and now I'm like 8 and 8.5, or I could do even 9.
Oh, it's like if she pushes a 9, 9.5, then I'll steal her shoes.
I like
go up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, if I ever see anything, because I love to do like a lot of sample sale stuff. If I see something your size, I'll send it your way for sure.
Deal.
So, now that I know.
Okay, fair.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
I'll never line up at Louboutin again, but if the opportunity comes,
yes, if there will be something. I mean, now I feel like sometimes you see something online, and then, like, you know, you'll see, and you're like, wow, that's not my size, but like,
yeah, the last pair.
Yeah, exactly. They always tell you that, but I don't think that's true. I think the last pair is like, that's all AI, and then they're like, you buy it, and then they're like, the last pair,
but it's in your size.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how did you do that?
Hey. But it makes you feel special still that you got the last pair. It's all like, I feel like it's all really tied to emotions because like this is all really like goes back to emotions and shoes. And
but I think like back to your point, it's all of the fashion is kind of like your vibe, your mood, your emotion,
it's
right?
It's you.
Look at me discovering the edginess in me, just like, oh yeah, I love studs and things. So like,
yeah, well that's great. Like now, like, you know, like what you want to look at and stuff. And like I like a lot of pink stuff, and like, you know, I like a little stud too, so, but I'm more of like sparkly pink.
I can tell. Yeah. I can tell. There's a lot of glitter and glam.
Glitterly, yeah, exact. That's like, yeah, so sparkle. Like it's cool, like, so when I go into your closet, I want to see a lot of little like edgy little things.
You are, like, yeah, you're going to see like even if it's the most like simple feminine thing, it might be like a little twist, so.
Love it. Well, maybe you could take a photo of your closet, a little video to put into this, because we'd love to see it too.
Oh, I think you would like I have sneak peek. I have a lazy shoes in.
Oh wow, I love that.
So it's like floor to ceiling, and all the sections turn. so I can just like spin and see the shoes. But I had someone come make it in my closet because I just didn't have a ton of room, and I share mine.
Yeah, that wouldn't work in this situation here.
No.
But my husband has another closet that's smaller in our master.
Yeah, his side's smaller, but I still needed my own shoe carousel. Actually, he doesn't even have shoes in the closet.
Where are they?
They're in his office. He had something else built for him, like just a sort of standard thing, because he's like, well, where am I supposed to put mine? I'm like, I don't know.
You find the place.
Sorry.
Hey, I feel like it's common to get kicked out of the closet.
Yeah, they know what they signed up for.
Yeah, of course. Something you guys should know. Well, it was so awesome to chat with you today, Fatima. And I am excited to chat with you again, because I'm sure there's going to be other things to talk about with beauty and fashion and all the trends that are coming. And love to have you back. And
sounds good.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in, and have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye.
Bye.